Hello and welcome back to Seconds Out. My name is Ayman Khan here with Nathan Heaney, Stoke favourite middleweight Nathan Heaney. Nathan, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, very good, mate. As I said before, just training hard and stuff, and just getting on with life with the kids and that, and yeah, everything's great.
Nathan, I hear they're banning Delilah in stadiums. What's all that about?
Well, they are in the Principality Stadium, aren't they? But mate, honestly, like someone asked me the other day, actually, the journalist called me up saying, "What are you going to do if they ban it?" I said, "Well, I'll just do what I do in the south stand. I'll just lead it myself. I'd come out to silence. I'd be like, shh." It actually sound mint to be fair. It actually would sound mint, but yeah, it's they're not going to cancel that. No way.
March 25th, you're back out. Nathan, you're up against Jack Flatley in what is a rematch. Let's talk about the fight. Tell us about it. Did you have other options on the table, first of all, Nathan?
No, well, there was different fights that I've been tagged with and stuff, and there was discussions, but I think in regards to obviously the fight itself, the way that ended, obviously I felt I was comfortable in the fight, but the way it ended left a lot of. It made a narrative afterwards that they were going to take over in the second half of the fight. No, it's great. We can all have like this. We could have taken over and this and that. It's coulda, woulda, shoulda kind of thing. And there's no way of proving it. But especially with this headline now on the show, it makes a great fight. And obviously a lot of questions that weren't answered and were just subjective or whatever. Now we can actually see what happens on the night on the 25th.
Yeah, break that down a little bit for me. From your perspective then, before the fight was stopped because of the cut, where did you feel you were in the fight and how did you feel the fight was progressing?
I felt really comfortable, to be fair. I felt like I hadn't really landed as many shots as I possibly wanted to within the fight. I think I was a bit cautious with what I was doing, but I felt like I was boxing nice behind the jab. I mean, I think it was the third round where I saw it trying to close the distance a little bit with him, but that he caught with a backhand and probably two other shots, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, Jack Flatley's had the best round so far," and watching it now, because I felt it was close that round, I automatically assumed I've lost that. If it's close, I've lost it. That's the way I view it anyway in the fight. But then when I watched it back, I mean, the first half of the fight, the first half of the round, I was boxing lovely and catching some really nice shots. So he just did better in that round than he did in the other round. So I can't really say that he particularly won that round either. But it's just, yeah, I felt good in there. But obviously, this is where what makes it interesting is it's what game plan they put this time. Do they put the pressure on straight away and go straight for it, which they could do? But it's 10 rounds is a long time, and if you go too quick, it can backfire on you as well. So it's very interesting what can happen in the fight.
Where do you feel then this time, the second time round, the fight is won for you? How do you feel you close the show this time round?
I honestly don't know. Like, but for the pure fact, if they do push it quicker, that opens him up a lot more because he defensively he's quite good. So that's probably why I didn't catch him as much in the first fight, because he was cautious himself. He wasn't lunging and stuff. So it depends how each of us apply themselves. If he comes at me, obviously it's going to open himself up more. And then obviously he can get tagged and stuff. But yeah, I honestly don't know. We've got to see after the first. I'd say after the first round, I think I'll work out how the fight's going to go.
Mm-hmm. Nathan, how many tickets have you done this time around? We know you as someone who's well ingrained in your community and the community supports you as well. How many have you done this time around?
Yeah, well, so far I've just done just under 1,000, which I think is phenomenal. I did not expect for the January payday for so many people to buy tickets, to be honest, because obviously it's just after Christmas and the New Year. So I'm going to sell it. Well, I've got a lot of people that reserve tickets that are waiting for the February payday. So basically all my tickets are reserved anyway, really. There's been a couple here and there that said, "Oh, I can't make it." So that's opened up spots for new people that say, "Can I go?" I'm like, "Yeah, there you go, put them on." And then yeah, so it's going to be another sellout, and I'm really looking forward to it.
There's some doing in this climate, particularly Nathan. You've had people who've backed you, and we're moving into an area right now where it's money's harder to come by. So to do those number of tickets is something special, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are very, very loyal my supporters. And what makes it worse is because I always message my guys, the ones that go to me fights previously, so before the fights even announced and stuff. I always let them know. But there's some lads that come from Devon all the time. They come from Devon to support me, and they've been like the last 3 fights. There's a lad called Jerry McKinney. He's from Dundee. He's flying from Dundee. He was there for my last two or three fights. It's crazy where they come from. It's so I'm very, very, very fortunate, mate. It's like I say, especially after Christmas and stuff. It's great. It's great what they're doing for me.
We spoke beforehand, but about it. But you seem to be on the mend with the injury. Where is the eye injury right now?
Yeah, the eye's absolutely fine. There's absolutely no issues whatsoever with it. I mean, it's flown, but it's been 4 months since I boxed. So, I mean, when did I start sparring? I probably started sparring about 2 months ago in terms of getting hit. No, was it 12 weeks? I can't remember. It's either 8 to 12 weeks after my fight that I started to spar, but I've got a full face head guard on with the bar on. So there's no real risk of getting caught on the eye anyway. So it's healed up really, really nicely. The doctor at the show did a really good job, in fact. And yeah, I had it looked over by a surgeon in Stoke, and he said, no, absolutely perfect. So yeah, it's one of them, because everyone's all my mates and stuff and people that watch me, will they go for the eye? Well, bloody hell, maybe. Do you know what I mean? But they've got to catch the eye first. And the only time I've ever been cut is from head clashes, which was on my 10th fight against that Christian Chambers. He caught me on, I think it was this eye that he caught me on with a head clash. And then obviously Jack caught me on this eye with a head clash. So it's the only time I've ever been cut.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned that fight against Christian Chambers. That was in Stoke. You're fighting in Telford. When is the Frank Warren Stoke show happening, Nathan?
Well, I'm hoping very soon. Yeah, just I've got to win this fight, and then all my guys put a good show on, as they always do, with the atmosphere that they bring. And then hopefully it should be soon. Hopefully, just got to see what happens.
You've got the WBA Continental middleweight title on the line. Is this the route you're looking to go down, or are you open really with your options coming through this fight should you get the win?
Yeah, I'm open. All it was with this, I just spoke to Jordan and said, I'd love if you can show me a good title for this. And he said, leave it with me. And then he sorted me out the WBA Continental, which for me, I think is a great organisation and stuff to be fighting for a title of some kind for them. And obviously I won the IBO Continental at super middleweight, and then the international one at middleweight. But it's nice to have a new title and bring something back to my city that's new. And it makes it more exciting for my guys that support me as well. Something new for them to back me for. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But in terms of the options, mate, yeah, if there's a decent title in line, I'd love to fight for any.
Nathan, I'll get your thoughts on a couple of other things before I let you go. First of all, BCB link Tyler Denny defends against Brad Pauls very soon. Your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, Tyler Denny's a very good fighter. I wish I'd have lumped a load of money on him when he fought his last fight, because against tall fighters, he's very good at nullifying. Like, I've got a very, very good. I consider myself to have a very, very good jab, but he can make it very tricky. Like, so I've sparred with Tyler quite a few times, and he can make it very tricky to obviously use that jab. So I thought, if anyone hasn't got an half decent jab like I have, it's going to be a nightmare for him. So he performed really well in his last fights. But yeah, Brad Pauls is good, but I don't think Brad Pauls performed particularly great against Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly was very lucky not to beat him, to be honest. And yeah, so I would assume Tyler Denny's going to win the fight. How he's going to win it, I'm not too sure. But he is strong. He can punch harder than his record suggests, so who knows?
Someone you've had in your target sights in your dream fight was Chris Eubank Jr. He came up short against Liam Smith in resounding fashion there. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that fight, because you've been quite vocal online about kind of how Liam Smith's victory shouldn't be shrouded by this kind of weight issue.
Yeah, it's a load of the weight issue is a load of rubbish in my opinion. Like, when you saw him at the scales, Eubank wasn't sucked up in the face. He didn't look like it's been a hard weight cut at all. So I just think it's a load of rubbish. Like, the fact of the matter is, Smith was tight with his guard and threw very technically strong shots and knocked him out. And just, now, did people expect him to knock him out? Like, I picked Smith to win, but did I think he was going to stop him like that? No, I didn't. But it doesn't surprise me either, because Eubank's totally changed what made him good. He used to be a relentless, non-stop punching. Well, if you stood in front of him, game over. He was like a machine. But now all of a sudden he's like trying to just do things that he wasn't really. I wouldn't say he's got the best jab in the world, but now he's trying to use the jab like he's always had the best jab in the world. He hasn't. So it's strange. But and the way he was moving as well in the corner, it was just dead erratic and lacked finesse that a fighter that would be moving would normally move like that. And that's why Smith tagged in the way he did. He just let the combination go and bang left hook. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit, but is the rematch a viable option there, Nathan, do you think?
Well, they've obviously got that there and they probably make decent money from it, but why? Well, I don't see why why Smith. See, obviously there's rematch clauses there, so if they activate it, there's nothing he can do. It's a legal thing in it. But if I was Smith, why would he need to fight Eubank Jr? I mean, he might want to because he probably think I'll just smash him again. Like it's just. But I'm not interested in the rematch personally because Liam Smith did a number on him. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close, in my opinion.
Are you interested in revisiting the Eubank Jr. Conor Benn fight, Nathan?
What that Conor Benn shouldn't even be fighting. Like, it shouldn't even be discussed. Like, he shouldn't be fighting. That's it. Like, it's I don't know. Like, I was going to put a post on Twitter the other day when all this stuff's coming out about the WBC going to put him back in the rankings or something, aren't they? And I was going to say something along the lines of PEDs are only banned. I was going to put kids. PEDs are only banned if you can't afford the legal team to defend you if you get caught using them. Because that's the fact of the matter. Like, clomiphene, I don't know why that would ever be in your system. And this eggs, we mentioned before, so I'm not going to try to bore people with it, but this eggs, in the eggs, it's a load of rubbish. I eat a lot of eggs, and I'm not tested for clomid and blah, blah, blah. So it's, yeah. If you, I don't get the process, to be honest, because surely if you test positive, you should be banned, and then the legal team come in to like unban you. I don't know, but I always thought that was the way it was, but obviously no, I'm not too sure. But then they're going down different. They're not really cooperating. I don't think they're cooperating too much with the board and stuff. So it's making it harder for the board to sanction stuff in the UCAD and all that kind of stuff. But who knows? It's a bit of a grey area, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, that will reach its own resolution when it comes. Nathan, bringing this back to you, we saw Denzel Bentley kind of take his own leap of faith and fall short against Janibek. But would you, if that was something similar was offered to you, would you take that jump, that leap of faith to have an opportunity at world level?
1,000,000%. Because fair play to him, it was a no lose situation for the lad, and his stock rose from it anyway because that lad couldn't get him else there. And Bentley had good times himself in there. It's, because not many people get to fight for a world title. So if that opportunity ever came up, I'd take it immediately, yes. Because it's the risk-reward thing. The risk is massive at world level, but the reward is also massive at world level. So you have to take that.
And finally, Nathan, March, we're going to see you out. That is the 25th of March. What can we expect to see from you against Jack Flatley?
A composed performance, tighten up a little bit things that I might have done wrong last time, and letting some decent shots go, and having a very intense crowd backing us this time that isn't in the gods, because in Manchester we're right in the gods. This time it's going to be very compact and very. Yeah, it's going to be very fiery in there. So I think it's going to be a great fight.
Did that impact you a little bit, having them a little bit further away from the ring, Nathan?
I don't think it impacted me. I just don't think it impacted my opponent as much. Like when you're in a compact arena, it's very intimidating. But because it was so far away, I could still hear him. Of course, I could, but it wasn't as fiery as like. It was still amazing, make no mistake, and he still took the place over. But when it's really close, it's a different ball game completely, and it feels when you're letting the shots go, and you just see. That's another thing as well. The supporters, because it's so far away, they don't see the shots landing as good, and they don't get absorbed into the fight as much. So, it's totally different. When I fought that Ramirez, every time I landed a shot, the place erupted. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward to it too, Nathan. Hopefully I'll be there in attendance. Nathan, it's been a pleasure speaking to you once again, as it always is. Thank you so much for speaking to Seconds Out. We'll catch up very soon.
Yeah, same to you, mate. Thank you very much, man.